Here we're going to be looking at the generations at a glance. We're going to be covering traditionalists, baby boomers, Generation X, and millennials. Managers are increasingly grappling with generational differences in their workforces. Problems can arise from differing mindsets and communication styles of workers born in different eras. Here, we're going to debunk how to properly train various age groups, keeping in mind their generational differences. Therefore, we can improve efficiency in training. Traditionalists have been around from 1925 to 1945. They have survived the Great Depression, World War II, the Cold War, McCarthyism. They started the Civil Rights Movement, and they're commonly known as the children who are seen but not heard. Many are currently exiting the workforce, either due to old age or retirement. Traditionalists often prefer learning through more direct methods such as lectures, while gamification and interactivity does not connect as well to their style of learning. Keeping in mind that traditionalists grew up during the Great Depression and World War II, they most commonly either fought in the war or they were children growing up. Behaviors are based on experiences during these time periods and are centered around traditional social norms, such as men typically worked while the women stayed at home to raise the children. Traditionalists are also known as the silent generation. They want to feel needed, strive for financial security, and have a waste not, want not attitude. When training, they are looking for quality and simplicity. They understand the nobility of sacrifice for the common good. Therefore, they're typically good team players. And hard work takes time. Traditionalists grew up in a time period where they demonstrate hard work to earn what they wanted. This has transferred to how they navigate life as well as how they learn. Remember, they value quality training over speed and efficiency. They value direct presentation of information that is organized logically. Traditionalists learn better in a lecture-styled environment. It is important to have the instructor be able to prove their credibility and establish connection with the material. Be sure that you are aware of your experience, qualifications, and credentials to providing training, and that traditionalists know how much time and effort you spent behind creating your program. That being said, traditionalists need more formulated training where there are guidelines as well as a thought-out program or training plan. Sell your credibility. Be concrete, clear, and calculated.
Hi, now I'll give you a brief overview of how to present to traditionalists. I'll start with my name and my credibilities. Hi, my name is Beckham Duffy. I am the CEO of the Training and Development Specialist team who has worked with big name companies such as Johnson & Johnson, Facebook, and Microsoft. I'll then list my other credibilities such as my school. I graduated from Rutgers University using the Master's Advantage program through Human Resources and Development. Then, I'll go over an overview of what would happen in my presentation. That could look like me giving out a brief overview of what my core concepts would look like, introduction, summary, and body, or I could give out a physical document to my audience, which would help them follow along with my presentation. This will all be produced in a lectured style. And finally, I'll make sure that I'll go over any questions, for traditionalists are often hesitant to ask questions. Therefore, I'll take the time and make sure that all my points are covered. Thank you.
There are 76 million baby boomers in the workforce, born between 1946 and 1964. They are at the peak of their careers and the ones at the top in many companies. They are known for being independent, understanding of change, and always striving for improvement. Boomers have learned not to trust the status quo and grew together through decades of massive technological and social advancement. They value experiences more than anything, spending their free time doing rather than passively enjoying cheap thrills. Boomers grew up together watching the impossible be achieved, with events such as the space race. They believe in self-improvement and teamwork. Due to the characteristics of this generation, there are several things to keep in mind when presenting to them. Firstly, they do not want to be treated as if they are old. Nobody wants to be told they are aging, especially not a generation so rooted in doing and achieving. They don't want to feel as if they're slowing down, which is why it is actually completely acceptable to use technology while presenting. There is no reason to believe that they would feel uncomfortable with it. In fact, keeping things modern will encourage feelings of keeping up with the times, showing that you find them capable. And speaking of finding them capable, they appreciate it when you speak to them in ways that denote that you understand they are intelligent and successful. They have worked hard their whole lives, and they do not want to feel that you believe they are less capable or intelligent due to their age. They trust strongly in credentials, and for that reason, are more likely to pay close attention to what you are saying if you have an impressive educational background and credentials. They are susceptible to being talked into things based on others doing them. They are a generation based on togetherness, so it's a good idea to bring in concepts used by multiple groups of people.
Here is how to present to Generation X or Gen X. Gen X workers are those employees born between 1964 and 1980. Today, Generation X makes up 21% of the American workforce and is the most stable generation in terms of their 2020 predicted makeup of 21%. Many grew up as latchkey kids, home alone after school, while both of their parents worked, or they were raised by a single parent. As a result, the Gen X kids learned to become more pragmatic and were often disillusioned with the lack of work and life balance in their home. Additionally, they overlooked askance at the lack of loyalty by employers to their employees. I'm gonna introduce several tips about how to engage, develop, and hold on to your Gen X employees in the presentation. There are several ways for motivating Gen Xers. The first one is a room to grow. Offer Gen X employees clear statement of goals, but allow them reasonable latitude on how to achieve their goals. Gen Xers tend to have a work hard, play hard mentality. The second one is opportunities to make choices. Since this generation has become accustomed to fending for themselves, provide options for task selection, options for challenges, options to formulate new processes, and options to develop creative yet appropriate conclusions. The last one is mentoring. Strong relationship-oriented mentorships are a great value for young employees. Be careful not to micromanage them or suggest rigid guidelines for completing projects. Spend time with them and offer clear and frequent feedback on their progress.
The millennials work smarter, not hard. Only 1 of 5 strongly agree to have a fast-track career, and 57% of the millennials believe that work and life balance means enough leisure time for private, and they mainly focus on the employability and lifelong learning. Typically, people believe that millennials are free to late retirements. However, the majority plan to retire when they are 60 or even earlier. And also, most people think millennials rely on family and friends for career advice. However, only few of the millennials say that their friends or family have strongly influence on their career decisions. Millennials grew up with internet, so multimedia and multitasking are the second nature to them. They will browse multiple screens on their mobile device while they're doing some other tasks like grocery shopping or working out. So the presentation applying to this group must convey a sense of energy and must keep moving. Be creative and grab their attention in the first 30 seconds of your pitch. If you start with "Hello, my name is Zhuang Dong from blah blah company," you have already lost them. And they live now with social channels such as Instagram, Snapchat, and FaceTime. So they value authorities. So your presentation should reflect that. Here are 5 tips. And the number 1 is get straight to the point, and number 2 is maximize the mobile, and find why in your message, and wow with your videos. Let's make the PowerPoint more fantastic, and the most important one is authentic and vulnerable.